Day Cutieheads. I am Tiff Day, and I'm the host of the Day One podcast. And I am beyond excited to bring to you something very near and dear to my heart. And it has everything to do with the LGBT plus community. And this month we're celebrating Pride, and I have the most amazing guests, people that I've just met, people that I've known forever, but they're all coming on here to have a voice and to share their experiences, and I feel truly privileged and honored. So let's go on this journey with them. I have the beautiful Gabby here with me today.
Hi.
And Gabby, I just want people to get to know you a little bit. Tell us how old you are, a little bit about your life right now.
Okay, so I'm 17. I go to Bingham High School. Or should I say
Yeah,
that?
you can totally
Okay.
say that.
Okay, I've been a dancer since I was 7. Basically.
Do you love school? Just tell me.
I actually do. Yeah,
Oh.
summertime is kind of a little bit boring for me, but I like school. Yeah.
So what do you want to do after you graduate?
Oh, I have no idea. Everybody asks me that question, but I have no idea. I wanted to be a lawyer. I was thinking about that.
Okay.
And then I was like, maybe finance.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about you and how you identify or are part of the LGBT plus?
Yeah, of course. So I used to identify as lesbian, but then I found my boyfriend. And so now I kind of identify as like queer or pan.
Tell me how your family felt about you. Did you share with your family how you were?
I actually didn't tell them. They found
Oh.
out from one of my friend's moms. And my mom was a little bit hesitant at first, but then she like accepted it, and then she didn't really care. Chad didn't give a crap. He was like, okay, whatever.
I love that.
Yeah. But my mom came around to it, and she's actually been really supportive. Like, she bought me a pride flag. We hung it up on her flagpole. Yeah.
I love that so much. I love that. Gabby, did you march in the Pride Parade?
This year I did. It was my first pride.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you say to friends or to people that are watching that may be in high school, maybe junior high, that would help them maybe come out or embrace who they are?
So at the beginning, like when I was finding myself, I used to think that, oh, I have to come out to everyone and make it this big deal to everyone. Everybody new that I meet, because you have to come out to everybody new that you meet all the time. But I would just say that you can just let people figure it out. You don't have to tell them. You can just let them figure it out. So, yeah.
I love it because regardless of who you love or how you identify, why is it that people, like, why do you have to go around with a big flag up? Like, I don't know.
And you can if you want to, but you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You can just live how you want to, and yeah.
I have to say that I'm so impressed that you were so self-aware and comfortable with who you are so early.
Yeah, and I watched, so I was always like an ally supporter of it, and I watched like a lot of like BuzzFeed videos, if that makes sense, like the little like gay videos of like, oh, these are stereotypes of them, and they were like funny. So I never had like a negative connotation of it in my head. But yeah, I always was just like, oh, it's okay that I am. So it was really easy for me to accept myself.
What would you like to see in the future as far as the LGBT plus community or awareness? What are things that you would like to see?
I would just like to see, I would like to see more representation in media, definitely. There are only like a few TV shows, mostly on like Netflix, but not a lot of like mainstream TV shows that have a lot of representation. And I think when there is, they make it their whole personality, you know, when we just want to see those kinds of characters, like just
real life.
Yeah, just real life. And I've also liked to see it like just be more normalized. Like, if you find out someone is gay or trans or whatever, it isn't like, it doesn't have to be a whole conversation. It can just be like, oh, okay.
Tell us something that you want people to know about you.
Okay. That you don't have to look a certain way to be who you are. That would be one thing. A lot of people told me that I'm like too pretty to be like girls, but I still do, and I'm still pretty. You can be both. You are never too young to know your identity. A lot of people said, oh, like, you're too young to know, you don't have enough experience, but nobody can tell you what to think except for you.
I love that you trusted yourself.
Yeah.
I love that you were confident enough to embrace who you are.
Yeah.
I have to say that you are a strong woman.
Thank you.
Like, you're a strong woman. And I know that you're young, but you can see that presence in you.
Thank
And like, I applaud you for being
that.
you. And yeah, you're amazing. Yeah. I am so beyond excited to have someone that I know personally love you so dearly. Like, he's like a son, truly like a son. I've known you for years, and my daughter's best friend, part of our family. Like, everyone in our family adores you. This is Brian. And Brian, I want you to tell us just a little bit about you, your age, where you go to school, kind of what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm Brian. I'm 17. I go to Bingham. I'm on Bingham Dance Company and Bingham Ballroom team. I've known Tiff for like 6 or 7 years, I think.
It's been a long minute.
Yeah.
And I love it. If you feel comfortable, I would love for you to share your coming out story.
Okay, yeah. So I've kind of like known my whole life. I feel like everyone does, but like growing up like Mormon, like I've always felt like I needed to like be straight, because that's just like what I was like taught. Kind of starting in middle school, like 7th grade, like I transferred to a new school. That's when I like first met Zoe, and we became like really good friends. And I like I was talking to like Dylan about this earlier, like how I mistook like a lot of like really good like friendships for like romantic relationships.
Yes.
And I had a crush on Zoe.
I know. Okay, I have to tell you this.
It's so funny.
It's really kind of a tender story, because Zoe's like, Mom, Brian likes me and he's gay. Like, she knew, like, she was full on aware, and she's like, I love him so much, so he'll figure it out. That's what she would say. So
No, yeah. And like it was so funny, but like, and I would like, because Marky was like, who do you know? I was like, she's like, who do you like? I was like, Zoe, but you can't tell her.
It's so cute.
But that was kind of just like when I like knew, but I was just like mistaking like a lot of like really good like friendships. But like 8th grade is kind of where like homophobia like hit me in the face.
Really?
Yeah, it was like like from start to finish of 8th grade, it was like really bad. Like there was like, it wasn't even just like a few kids. It was like 2 groups of boys specifically, like a lot of who I still see today in school. And like, it wasn't like there was physical, it wasn't just like verbal. And I think the first time like I realized it was like, not like realized, but like experienced it was when I was walking home. And so I was just walking, and like I just heard like a bunch of like boys yelling. They like heard like my name being like talked about. And so I just like turned around, and it was just like Estler like in everything single thing. And it was just like so like disgusting. And it's like, I remember it like vividly. And like whenever I like see those boys like in school today, it kind of just like,
Is it a trigger?
oh yeah. It's terrible.
It makes me so sad and so sick to my stomach. And like, I'm scared for the 8th grade Brian that was by himself.
No, that was a really hard year for me. Like I go to like counseling now, and like that is where like a lot of like my trauma has like rooted from, is from like that year. And it's just like, I don't think people know like how much, like to them it can be like such a joke, and it's like so funny, but like
It's your life.
I know. Like now that I've like accepted who I am, I've like become really proud of it. But like,
As you should. I'm incredibly proud of you. Like,
thank you.
the strength that you have to be here after everything that you've gone through. Like, you're my hero.
I love you, Tiff. You're my hero.
I love you.
Your family is like the main reason I like started to like become like accepting, because like 8th grade, 9th grade, like all of middle school, like I was with Zoe a lot, and like you guys were like the first family besides mine that was like accepting and like loving, and so like you are like the reason that I like started loving myself and like came out.
I'm gonna cry. I love you. I have to hug right now. Oh, I love you.
I love you too.
I know this. Zoe would come home and she's like, I will kick somebody's ass.
And she definitely has.
So she has been like,
no, yeah, she's
got
like,
your back, and she might be little, but she is feisty.
Oh, I
so
love
don't
her.
mess with her.
No, like she's one of like the best. Like whenever I think of like an ally, she's like the first one that comes to mind. Like especially like in like school, like that's like hard, because you know like there's always people that support you, but like true allies are like really hard to find.
Brian.
Yes.
What does pride mean to you?
Pride means a lot to me. I think when I first think about it, I think of like LGBT and like gay people and like coming out and just like being proud of who you are, and I think that definitely is like a big part of it. But like recently with like BLM and like the new like progress flag, and like I think it means a lot more to me. Like I learned like about like the origins and like the Stonewall riots, and I've just become a lot more like grateful and like proud of like the LGBT history, and I think it goes a lot more deep than just like being like proud of like being gay. Like I think it means like being proud of like those ancestors who like started like the fight for like change. And I also think like means like recognizing like your growth as like a person, and where you've like come from like this self-hatred and like almost like embarrassment to like this like love for yourself and like love for people you don't even know, but like being proud of who they are.
Through this all, I feel like you have found a voice.
No, for sure.
And you're a true advocate for people. And especially in your school, I know that you have affected so many lives. And the post that you made on your social media yesterday just blew up. It was incredible.
It was crazy.
And I feel like you are giving people just a little like hug or a little push to be like, it's okay to be you.
No, yeah.
And there's some younger kids that are looking up to you that I think, I don't want to say you're holding their hand, but in so many ways you're leading them on a path that they feel the support and they feel the confidence to be able to be who they are. Brian, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on, for your vulnerability, for your strength, for literally just bearing everything and being so open. I love you with my whole entire heart.
I love you.
Like, again, he's another son at my house. Love him. If you don't know him, this alone should make you want to know him. And it should also help you understand how amazing people are. So throw the things aside, open your mind, and open your heart.
For sure.
Love you. Braden.
Yes.
Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited to talk to you about you.
Yay. I'm excited.
So tell us a little bit about you, about what you're doing with life right now.
So I am currently attending Utah Valley University, and I'm working in Sandy, so I'm in Salt Lake now, so it's a lot of back and forth. It's like 40 minutes.
Oh my goodness,
but,
the driving king right here.
Yeah, I drive so much every day now. And I am currently going into the social work program that they just added. I actually think it's like new just this last year that they just added it. So
amazing.
I'm working towards getting my bachelor's in social work. And yeah, I'm currently working with autistic children because I felt like that was a nice like blend of getting into that field. So, yeah, and that's currently what I'm working towards now, and getting my bachelor's in that and seeing where we go from
Oh
there.
my gosh. Time out. You're beautiful. You're a beautiful soul. I feel like you're shining and making this room so bright. Like literally, like it really takes a special person, and like you are, like you do radiate that. I just have to tell you. And I'm obsessed with his curls. I'm going to say it one more time. Okay. So I would love for you to share with us your coming out story if you feel comfortable.
Yeah, of course. So I had a pretty sheltered childhood. So I came out around the time I learned when a gay person was at like 16. So, very, very old by the time I even like sort of understood the concept. It was like, I believe my sophomore year of high school, I spent most of that time sort of going through like the maybe I'm bisexual, maybe I'm this, maybe I'm this, and then I settled on like gay because eventually
Okay.
at the point where I'm like, no, I think it's just guys. And then I actually, because I didn't know how my parents would react, I wrote a letter and then like
Really?
disappeared with friends for the whole day. I'm just like, here's this bye. And I just like pieced out and went to like the next city over. And then a few hours later, they both messaged me like, we still love you. We want to support you any way we can. So it actually went out pretty well. After that, we sort of just like pretended it wasn't a thing for a while.
Okay.
yeah.
Like, so you didn't talk about it
No.
in person.
Yeah, it was kind of like we had like this mutual understanding of like, we're just going to ignore this.
Like, we're going to brush it under the rug. We know
Yeah.
what it is, but we are not talking about it.
Yeah, which is
Okay.
like not the best thing, but like it's what ended up happening. But then around the time when I was going into college, they wanted me to start going into therapy, and they didn't tell me why, but I knew what it was for. Joke's on them. It backfired.
Wait, what therapy did they want you to go to?
They never specified. They're like, it's going to help you like process your feelings. But specifically the therapist was like an LDS therapist who specialized in kids experiencing same-sex attraction. I wasn't stupid. I knew what they were wanting to get out of this. They were wanting to like convince me to like not be gay. It didn't work, and it actually backfired the other direction. And we sort of both talked it out, and sort of that's when we started coming to more of like an understanding of like, this is okay, and he can still be successful. So you need to stop worrying so much about this thing.
So after you did have this like group discussion and communication started
Yeah.
opening up, did you feel a little more free to like
Definitely.
live your life and be you?
Yeah.
Brayden, what does pride mean to you?
Being unconditionally yourself, just being who you are, not trying to like fit some sort of stereotype, not trying to like be what other people want you to be, because I feel like that's something even still within the queer community that we have such a hard time with, is not like fitting into certain boxes that we've made for ourselves. I feel like it's so hard and like so easy to get caught up into those sort of things that I feel like we have to sometimes remind ourselves that like, you don't have to fit into a box. Just whatever being a member of this community means to you, be whatever that means to you.
What do you want people to know about you as a person?
Like just that I'm a person. Just any way that you would react or treat any other person, like just treat me the same. Like as much as I am proud of my identity of like an openly gay man, I don't want that's not me. Like that makes a part of me, just like I'm not specifically I'm not like a person with dyslexia, or I'm not a dyslexic, or I'm not I don't it's like I'm a person with dyslexia, I'm a person who just happens to be gay, I'm a person who happens to have ADHD. So things like that of like, yes, it's a part of me, but it's not who I am. Like, it's fine to like acknowledge that that's a thing that exists, but like I have other traits as well.
Agreed. Okay. And I know, again, that I just met you, but the traits that I see from you and just feeling your energy, like you're a good soul. Like you're real. You're a real person. You care about other people. You literally have a kind heart. Hey, cutie heads. I have a special guest here. Her name is Tori. Welcome.
Hello.
I'm so excited to have you, and I'm really excited to get to know you a little bit. So I would love for you to tell everyone just kind of what you're doing in your life, kind of what's happening.
Yeah, excellent. So I work at Intermountain Healthcare. I write policy for them. So through the pandemic, that transitioned to be a work from home thing, which has been really nice and a little bit of an adventure in and of itself. Other than that, I also play roller derby.
What? This is so cool. You're so tiny.
Oh,
Do they throw you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. So you're the one that gets whipped around.
Yeah, demolished. Like, my body is destroyed 90% of the time.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Keep
That's
going.
okay. No, totally. That's definitely one of the coolest things about me. I don't know. What else? I went to school at the University of Utah, so that's what brought me to Salt Lake, and I really like it here, so...
Where are you from originally?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was born in Kentucky, and we moved around quite a bit when I was a kid, and then I moved here from Idaho.
Oh my goodness. Well, welcome. How long have you been in Salt Lake? For a minute?
Yeah, 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you here to stay?
Perhaps. To be determined.
To be determined. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Question. Is there a certain time that you feel like you had a coming out, or what is your experience with that, if you want to share?
Yeah, absolutely. So probably the toughest conversation I've had about it was actually with my dad. My parents are pretty religious, and they are very kind and loving and do their best to understand my life. But as an adult, when I was bringing my girlfriend around, that was a conversation that needed to be had with my dad, that, you know, she was more than just a friend.
Yeah.
And so that was a special day because we went skiing, which is something that we really enjoy doing together. And I was so nervous. I was so scared because I didn't know how he was going to react, or, you know, you start going worst case scenario.
Absolutely.
And particularly in the religion that I was raised in, homosexuality is not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't go the absolute best, but it wasn't a total like dumpster fire either. So there was a lot of crying, and his reaction was kind of like, if that's what you choose to do, I love you. Which was good in the sense that he did his best to convey that he loved me.
Okay.
But this idea that my life and who I love is a choice comes up a lot, I feel, for being bisexual especially. And even when you go both ways, it's still not something that you're actively choosing, right? Like, that's not how sexuality works.
Right. Did your friends growing up, did they understand more of what was going on in your life? Or when did you start to recognize? Were you younger? Were you older when you embraced? Okay.
Yeah, I was younger, actually. My first kiss was with a girl, and I freaked out, and I was like... scared. I think I was about 15. And I remember getting kind of mad at her. I was like, why would you do that? And when I look back on that, I think it's kind of sad because it was conditioned in me to think that it was wrong. There were a lot of years where I think I tried to fight against the part of me that loves women. Like I was like, oh, this is just a phase, or it's just fun and games. And in college, I realized that it definitely wasn't. It was not just lighthearted. And I was lucky enough in college to have a group of friends that were very, very incredibly accepting. I was terrified to tell my roommate when I was about 22, and when I finally did tell her, she kind of laughed and was like, "Well, I know, but I love you, you know, and you can
Awesome.
tell me anything." So,
That is awesome.
Okay.
What does pride mean to you?
okay, that's a great question. I think just being authentically yourself and vivaciously happy to do so and comfortable with it. You know, like you have to be in a safe space to embody pride, and that's really important. But yeah, just authentically being yourself is what that means to me.
Thank you. Did you go to the Pride Parade this year?
I did, yes. I had a friend visiting me from Pocatello, where I grew up small time in Idaho, and she's a grade school teacher. So we got to walk the parade, and we had the opportunity to go through the art stroll.
Oh, what did you think?
There was a lot of really good, important history that I think sometimes gets missed in all the excitement of Pride celebrations of the past. The unique thing about the COVID adaptations in the celebration this year is that it really caused a slowdown. And, you know, while the parade and the outfits and all of the celebrations is absolutely my favorite holiday without question, really getting the opportunity to walk through and learn about Salt Lake specifically, some of the trailblazers, how Pride got to be the fantastic jubilation that it is, that was an incredible experience.
What would you like to see happen in the future, even the present, but really looking down the road, that would bring more equality, more, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
to the community?
Representation in all public offices, on the screen, everywhere. I think it's exciting that we're having more conversations, but it's really important that we're not speaking for people, especially in positions of power. And I think there's still a lot of that happening. So, you know, if there's one area where I definitely hope to see improvement, it's that we have more representation of LGBTQ backgrounds, different people, than what we see now. I think one thing that's challenging about being bisexual is that you're frequently questioned from both sides of the aisle. So in different partnerships or just in general conversations, a lot of times I hear from straight people like, oh, you're just gay and not all the way out of the closet. Or from gay people that really, you know, I'm just straight and kind of dabbling or experimenting. And that's a challenge to my identity that I think, I don't know, I just wanted to highlight that.
For me personally, that sheds a little bit of light, I think, into bisexuality, because when someone says that they're gay or someone says that they're lesbian, then there's never straight lines in anything, right? Every situation and every person is different, but I can see where you're challenged and where you walk maybe a little bit more difficult path. Dare I say that?
Yeah, I think it would be hard to say that any path is more difficult than any other. But if I had to highlight one particularly challenging element of my path, that would be it.
Yeah. I just met you, but I'm so incredibly proud of the human that you are. And I feel like you have so much strength and you have just this beautiful energy about you that I'm sure people are drawn to because you make it a safe place for them. And you may not even know like the people that you're touching and the lives that you're affecting in the most positive and beautiful way. And like, it's beautiful. I just want you to know how amazing you are.
Wow, thank you.
Of course. I see this beautiful human sitting here with so much to offer the world, and so truly grateful that I get to meet you and be a part of you.
Well, you know that I've been a big fan of yours for quite a while, so I'm so grateful we've had the opportunity to have this conversation, and really thank you. That means a lot to hear that from you. Whew, I'm gonna tear up.
Well, that's just what I see, and that's how I feel, and I always shoot it straight, sometimes too straight. Like, sometimes I need
Pun
to...
intended?
Maybe. No. I love you, Tori. I do have one more question before we leave, though.
Sure.
What do you want everyone to know about Tori as a human being?
First of all, I'm a badass.
Yeah, you are a badass. Second thought.
Second thought, I'm a bisexual.
Love
We got
that.
Two B's there.
Love it.
Third of all, I'm working on showing up in the most authentic way that I can in this world. And I'm excited to be that, to embody that.
Beautiful. Okay, everyone, take a lesson right there. That was beautifully said. Everyone should literally find your badass, find out who you really are, and be authentic every single day. Because in the authenticity, that's where you find happiness.
And know that we're all trying to do it too.
Aiden,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So good, and I'm so excited to have you here today to talk to us about you. This is all about you.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
Thank
and you're
you.
looking very good.
Thank you. You too.
Well, thank you. I want to know a little bit about you, your age, kind of what you're doing in life right now.
Okay.
Give us the spill.
Okay. I'm 17 years old. Right now I'm just hanging out with my friends. It's summer, so just hanging out with my friends, my girlfriend, just all that fun stuff. Trying to have the most fun and working so I can save up for college in the future.
Love it. Okay, where do you want to go to college? What do you want to do?
Oh, wow.
Lots of questions.
To be honest, I don't really know. I mean, I probably want to go somewhere in Oregon, somewhere around the state, so I can explore more. I like adventuring and having fun. So.
Okay. So I would like to know if you feel comfortable sharing your coming out story.
Okay. I have probably... I'll do my first one. I first came out in 6th grade. I was playing Minecraft with my friends, actually, and there was, this thing called Musically that turned into TikTok.
I know Musically.
Yeah.
I know Musically.
And I followed a trans person on there, and I was just thinking and playing Minecraft with my friends. I don't know why. I just was start bawling my eyes out, and I was like, guys, I think I'm a boy. And I was crying, and they're like, what? Tell your mom. I beep beep beep, call my mom. Hey mom, I think I'm a boy. And she's like, aw, you're 12. Come on now. It's just a phase, And I was like, okay. Got over it. And then I came out to...
Did you feel like you had to get over it? Did you feel like it
No.
was... Okay.
I did not get over it, technically.
But did you feel like that's what everyone wanted you to do? Did you feel pressured in that situation?
Yeah, especially by my parents. My mom was just telling me it's a phase, and I was like, okay. And she's my mom, so I believed her.
Sure.
And I was like, she wants what's best for me, so I just whatever. And then, and then in 9th grade, before 9th grade, I was dating this girl. And my dad knew about it, and it was fine. And then I just told her, I was like, what if I wanted to be your boyfriend instead of your girlfriend? And she was like, oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. Now you're my boyfriend, whatever. She was super accepting. So, I felt like it was okay for me to do it because, someone that I cared about and loved finally accepted me. So I was like, I think it's time for me to come out to the world. And so I just put it on social media, on
Really?
Instagram and Snapchat, just so everyone who followed me.
You just put it out there
Yep.
for everyone to see.
Exactly.
And what was the response?
It was really good. It was kind of, some people were like, oh, like I kind of saw that coming. And then some people were like, what? Like, that isn't right. You know, I just had like positive and negative feedback from it all. But my friends, but people close to me, they were totally fine. They're like, we'll try it. Like, they had like struggles because it's kind of hard to like change pronouns on someone that you've been really close with for a while. But they did it, and
They were accepting, supportive.
Exactly.
And how, at the end of the day, were your parents and family members?
My dad didn't believe me still, even after like kind of years. There's this woman he was dating, and she actually was the one who took me to get my first haircut.
Really?
And yeah, because without my dad knowing, and she like took me, right? And she took me to go get a haircut, and I was like I was ecstatic. It was the best I've ever felt. Yeah.
Okay, that gets me like all tingly. Like, that's awesome.
I know. She was like the best lady. I don't think I'll ever forget her for doing that. And she took me out to eat, and she took pictures of me and stuff, and I felt really
And
good.
you felt special.
Yeah, I know.
And accepted.
Yeah, and then she told, like, my dad, he came home, he was like, what in the world? Like, my hair's different. And so she just sat down with him. She's like, this is your son. This is Aiden. He goes by he, him now. You should call him that. And my dad, because he cared about me and he cared about the woman that was talking to him, he just kind of grew into, like, believing me and supporting me.
What is pride to you?
Pride is finally, like, it's just like finally finding your people, and like you're finally home to me. Like, finding people who are like just like you and is like kind of been through the same experience, and like probably not the same, but like they know how it feels to feel like you're in a crowd of people but still feeling alone, you know? But when I get to Pride, you're in a crowd of people but not feeling alone. Like, you feel loved and accepted and happy, and you can finally find yourself in Pride.
Another question for you. What would you like to see in the future or moving forward for the LGBT plus community?
I would like to see, like, I don't know. Just, I've seen a lot today, like, develop, especially through Salt Lake City, like, of all the flags and, like, just, like, Pride overall. But I just want to see more people come together and just, like, you know, like, have, like, not just Pride Month just be Pride Month and just, like, that moment. I want to see more flags throughout the year. Like, more companies, like, accept us more and more. Like, instead of just, oh, it's Pride Month, let's put our flag out. No, it shouldn't just be that.
Yeah, don't be on the bandwagon for 30 days.
It should be more than, oh, let's put our flag out because we support them all years, all the time.
Okay, Aiden, what do you want other people to know about you as a person?
I think I want people to know that I'm a really good person. I don't know, like,
I can tell.
My personality, like, I like to get through things with my personality and with my friends, and I'm that's a good question. I just want people to know that I'm a, like, fun person. I'm really accepting, and I'm down to be friends with anybody, and I love, like, getting people, like, kind of out of their shells, kind of, like, if they're, like, super shy, I want them, like, get out of their shells and, like, show them who they really are to the world. I'm
sure you give people unconditional love.
Yeah.
Regardless of who they are, you give them a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can feel that. I walked in and, yes, I was a little bit late, and he gave me a hug. I'm like, he could have given me the bird.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Not really. I can honestly say that it is an absolute privilege to be an ally to this community, to the friends that I have, to the son that I have, to strangers out there. I will be an ally, and it's important because people are people. We need to see people for the intentions of their heart, for the human beings that they are, and for the goodness that they bring to this world. There is more to someone than the person that they love or the way that they identify. And that is where we come in, and that's a personal choice that each of us get the opportunity to make. And it's life-changing. Thank you so much for watching this special episode. I appreciate all of your support. And I am going to encourage each of you, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, go follow us on Spotify. Make sure that you go to our Instagram page, which is TIFFday1, and become a follower so that you never miss anything. I appreciate everyone so much. Let's make a difference in our world and in our communities, and send all the love out to all of you.